Am I the a-hole for telling my wife that her facial hair is bothering me? I noticed that at some point she started to get noticeable facial hair, and I found it distracting. I know that she cannot help this fact, but I also cannot help the fact that I feel this way. I eventually built myself up to tell her about it on 2 occasions, at which point she agreed to do something about it and remove it. Not long after, she asked multiple friends about it, some of which told her to leave it because of misinformation around it growing back darker or quicker. Others told her to leave it because of her sensitive skin. Eventually, I spoke to her a third time. I tried to time it right, but I kept going over it in my head a lot. I am quite agreeable and don't like conflict. I also love my wife very much, but I could not keep it to myself any longer because it was genuinely a problem for me, and I feel like it's not my fault, especially as it seemed from my perspective like such a trivial thing for her to fix. I told her also that I was unhappy about the fact that she took her friend's advice over me, and that friends can have a bias towards telling people what they want to hear or choosing the easy option. One of the big problems is that my wife has been feeling down lately about a number of things. She started to feel better. We had a very nice day. Then I told her that night how I was feeling. When I did, I was very upset and had been thinking all day of a way that I could word it best and minimize the upset I might cause her. In so many years of marriage, I've never really raised an issue about anything she has done, even if I thought it, because I wanted to make sure she was happy and wanted to avoid drama. I tried to change that by addressing the issue a third time and telling her how I felt, but she took off her ring and is now telling me that our marriage is over and we need to start making plans for what we do next. I've told her that I love her and do not want that. She has told me that the facial hair is trivial and is the last thing on her mind, that I've not timed the conversation well, that we've already had the conversation before, and she told me she was doing nothing about it. She told me that if I loved her, I would have kept it to myself and not done something to make her feel worse than she already was. She is telling me that she cannot rely on me anymore and does not trust me because I've been telling her what she wants to hear for years, which I would only have done to avoid causing her upset and trying to make her happy. Since the original conversation when we spoke about it months before, I've been trying to ignore it and pretend it's not there, but it's not been working and I think about it every day. I know for certain that if her facial hair was removed, then it would solve the problem completely for me, but now I feel like it is too late for that and am deeply worried that I've ruined the marriage. I convinced myself that if I felt a particular way about something, then I needed to say it, or I'd be bearing the burden forever. That leaving issues to fester will only cause problems longer term, and sometimes we have to be willing to have difficult conversations. I feel like a marriage should be transparent, and for us to be able to discuss anything. I'd already been kicking the can down the road for months before finally addressing it, but perhaps it came out worse because of this. Maybe I've timed it wrong and should have waited for a better time, but I did not know when that would have been. It felt like the best opportunity in a long time. A big part of me wishes I never said anything and kept going as we were, because we had a very nice day, had lots of nice plans coming up, and now all of that is unlikely to happen, and she may have completely shut down towards me. Am I wrong for doing this? Do you think there is a way I can make this better? We have a home and children. We've been together for over 10 years in what I would consider a very happy marriage.